Claro, le ha hecho el hombre y dice, a ver, que yo no soy el que se queja, que yo también tengo moto, creo que ha dicho, y tal, pero hay mucha gente mayor que se va a quejar y al final salimos perdiendo todos. Es verdad, ahí tienes razón. Siguiendo con nuestra noche de reaccionando a vídeos de YouTube, ¿vale? Vamos a terminar de ver los de Kincade Pavich, que ya, si no me equivoco, es el último vídeo montándola, ¿no? Por lo que veo aquí en las miniaturas, ya lo siguiente es rodando con ella, creo, ¿no? Entonces, es un poco largo, ¿vale? 16 minutos, pero vamos a darle un poquito de caña, venga. Vamos a tragarnos el anuncio de rigor. Ahí estamos. Lo que lo pasaré un poco, ¿vale? Iré pasando para adelante. El Restilling Polisport. O TX
thanks to decalworks and mxplastics.com for the support on this build. Let's do it.
Polisport. Espera, hago así. Qué gustazo los últimos toquecitos,
I'm sorry to interrupt the sensual program. I actually had to switch from the right to the left because I'm having trouble with fitment on the right.
Traducción, por favor.
Here, I'll show you what's going on. So the way this side panel is intended to fit, it locks in there, and then this lower tab needs to go on the outside. And then, the problem is, got a pretty sizable gap there that I don't love. So I'm trying to make adjustments to fix this. I think step one needs to be making sure that this is the last bolt to be installed because the radiator has to flex.
Es que esto lo tienes que dejar medio suelto todos. O sea, darle un par de vueltecitas, dejarlo todo medio suelto y encajarlo, tío. En el momento que encajen ya y estén pegados, ya apretarlo. Si no, no te encaja bien.
Quite a bit. Then I'm
Y ahora como así lo va a solucionar. Dejarlo todo medio suelto.
And now do a loose fitment of the side panel as if the seat were installed. And now our gap looks significantly better. We've just got to tighten everything down
Está
and have
mejor.
it still
No está
look
perfecto,
like
pero está mejor.
Oh,
Vamos ahí, cabezazo.
oh, don't do
Oh
that.
shit. Oh
Managed
shit.
to get this thing. Oh yeah, see it really yanks that gap apart. Gap is back. We got some work to do. Okay, one other issue with this kit is that there's a screw behind here that contacts the subframe and causes this to stick out. And that is a definite boot catcher. So that screw is gonna have to go. Significantly better, and our gap has improved as well.
Cómo los pega, Está quedando espectacular, Como no lo meta bien con el pegamento. O sea, pero los puños blancos, tío.
What was that?
Muy bonito para ver, para no cogerla.
Oh, yeah, you
Puños
like
blancos.
this thing right here?
Guau, qué guapa, tío.
First look.
Saque a loco, colega. Está. Oh,
You like the grips?
Oh yeah, damn.
Dude, the white pops.
los puños blancos, tío.
So there you have my buddy Monty's first reaction on what he thought of the CR250 with the plastics and graphics installed. I want to know what you guys think. Leave me a comment on...
Pero fijaros que no encaja. Por eso yo tengo un Restilling de Polisport, no este, el anterior. Y lo he dicho, tío. La próxima que cambie los plásticos pongo los originales. Voy a poner los delanteros de Cicra, que me gusta. Pero esto es porque, fijaros, incluso siendo para esta moto y todo, no terminan de encajar bien, tío. Fijaros. Y como sea el TX Race este que tiene aquí acoples por aquí, bueno, eso ya es un cachondeo. Sería un cachondeo.
what you think of the outcome of this bike. There are a couple more things to do, but visually, she's pretty much done. Decal works. Killed it on this kit. Also, I want to give you all a huge thank you for the amount of comments I got in the last video. That was crazy, the response. Amazing graphic designer, and that sticker was originally on the airbox. The previous owner, Corey, told me it had some sentimental value. So
mira, es verdad que dijo que iba a intentar de mantenerla porque como que para mantener el flow o algo así,
¿no? The CR style a little bit better. Put some goggles on the skeleton. I think it came out really nice, and it's a nice little tribute to what this bike used to be.
Para mantener un poco de la esencia. Espera.
This episode is far from over, still quite a few things to do, so let's jump. Wanted to work on plastic fitment a little bit, so I removed the shroud and side panel once again, and that also cleared up some more space for me to bleed the rear brake with easier access to that master cylinder. Brake bleeding went very smoothly. I think I could still get a little bit more power out of the front brake if I bleed it a little bit more, but they're both functioning well, and neither one leaks out of those sight glasses, which is one small concern I had, so thankfully that silicone job worked. One task I've had jotted down, which is very important not to forget, is to torque the front sprocket bolt. And I could not, in fifth gear, hold the rear brake down, and then I've got enough resistance to be able to torque that bolt without the sprocket spinning. Now, the idea I had to improve plastic fitment was to bore out the hole in this radiator some more. This would allow that nut to sit farther back, shifting the plastic by the same amount. While it's still not perfect, it undoubtedly made an improvement, and I might be a little overcritical at this point. Let me know how much that gap bothers you, and if you have any other good ideas on how to improve it.
Déjame saber cuánto te molesta la brecha. No es que moleste, es que da coraje. No, como decimos que en Andalucía está enfadado, no estoy enfadado, pero da coraje, quillo. Da coraje.
So I went ahead and did that, and then it was time for some more testing. Well, the CR250 actually has brakes now, which means it's time to run it down the road.
A ver si no Celia tira la gasolina por el escape como cuando la arrancó la primera vez.
Following appropriate setup procedure from now on. First kick, baby.
Ya, otra historia. 5 minutos. ¡Oh! ¡Ah! El anuncio. Suena bien, tío. La primera vez que la arrancó, que estaba ahogado ahí con el carburador que no dio con la tecla, pero fijaros, tío. Suena muy bien.
Guys over at Smart Carb told me that it was shipped out rich, which makes sense. That's how you want to start out a fresh engine. I think we're going to go lean it out a little bit and see if we can clean this thing up a little bit. If I hit the throttle, it's very, 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 very flat. You know, the sick thing is, all I have to do is twist a knob.
Bueno, también, coño, está dando los primeros metros.
No dealing with turning the carburetor, getting the bowl off, spilling fuel everywhere.
Sí, pero creo que está hablando de eso, ¿no?
All I have to do is freaking turn a knob on this thing. With the Smart Carb,
creo que está hablando de algo de eso,
with
¿no?
the top knob here, with the richness and leanness before messing with the idle screw. Okay, so initially I went 10 clicks leaner. I texted Nathan and asked him how many clicks I should be doing. He said only do up to 4 at a time. So I went back down to 4. Bike still didn't want to idle. So I went 1 in on the idle screw just to make it idle for now. But we are at a leaner setting. So we're going to test how it rides with this leaner setting. And then if we have to go leaner on the screw, then we'll go back, idle back out. So I'm keeping track of where everything's at. So right now we're 4 clicks leaner than they sent it, and 1 full turn in on idle. Bottom end actually feels pretty good and smooth. Let's roll it on here. Oh,
ya suena diferente, ¿eh?
Okay.
Lo poquito que le has tirado un poquito la marcha ya suena diferente. Antes sonaba a borbotones. Claro. Oh, ¿qué ha pasado? ¿Se la ha parado? Claro. Es lo que tiene si no abre la gasolina.
A couple years ago. Before I learned proper braking procedure, I went 5th wide in the first 5 minutes down the street, and I blew it up immediately. There we go. All right, we're gonna roll it on to about half. Okay,
pero ojo,
still feels like it signs off a little bit.
No te creas que termina de romper, No rompe, pero suena diferente.
So you go full wide open throttle, and then down here you press the top of the carb and then go click, Click. Click.
Fíjate cómo se carbura, dándole clic ahí.
Which I'm thinking is right. That subtle difference was incredible, to be honest.
Dice que ahora cree que es correcto ahora.
Oh, sounds crisp too.
Suena más limpio.
Dude, I think we got it. I think we freaking got it. This thing is just right. Knowing how big of a difference those little smart carb adjustments make makes me feel confident that I can get this thing tuned perfectly out on the track.
Lo que pasa es que habría que carburarlo, lo que está diciendo. Me permitirá afinarlo en la pista. Y luego dice que hay que carburarlo en el circuito.
What was that?
That's fine. But you don't have to just keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
I'm trying to tune the carb.
The HOA says none of that.
Okay.
So it's made to be off-road.
I understand that, sir.
I got a vet in there. I know all about horsepower, all about going fast, all about having fun. But other people around here don't like it.
Yep, I get it.
Ahora le está diciendo el vecino que ojo.
I completely know what you mean. I'm stuck in a hard place because I gotta test this thing before I take it somewhere. I literally have spent 250 hours over the last few months building this bike.
250 horas.
All right, you have a good one.
Claro, le ha hecho el hombre. Dice, a ver, que yo no soy el que se queja, que yo también tengo moto, creo que ha dicho, y tal, pero hay mucha gente mayor que se va a quejar y al final salimos perdiendo todos. Es verdad, ahí tienes razón.
Check the plug. It was still quite rich, so just went 4 more clicks, so we're at 12 right now. Uh-oh, traffic jam of Hondas.
You going left or right?
Otra vez, a la calle. Parece que ratea un poco, ¿eh? En el rango medio.
Okay, so now we're at 10, which is 2 richer than where we had it.
There we go.
Ahí va algo mejor. Bueno, todo esto yo es... Uy, del sonido que escucho, pero parece que va algo mejor.
veces más flaca que el cepillo y el hilo dental solos. Simplemente guau.
Es que carburar un carburador inteligente sin tener ni puta idea, digamos, sin no haberlo hecho antes, tienes que cogerle el punto. Vale, dice que ha conseguido, digamos, el punto de partida, ¿no? Ya al carburarla en el circuito.
And of course we've got the neighbors who don't like dirt bikes, and then we've got the neighbors who love.
Y tenemos vecinos a los que no les gusta la moto de cross y luego tenemos a los vecinos que aman las motos de cross.
Yeah, dude.
Y está el niño.
Pretty stoked.
Yo os cuento una anécdota. Yo una vez, bueno, os la cuento. Vamos a terminar de ver el vídeo y ahora después la cuento. Venga, vamos a terminar de ver el vídeo. Así os quedáis con la gana.
While waiting for my last batch of parts in the mail, I finally got around to something I've been meaning to do, which was to chop the right side of the bar off. This is because using that throttle tube with the bearing adds a little bit of extra width, and the throttle cable is a little tight. So this not only made the bar symmetric, but helped with that throttle cable tension.
Last 2 packages for the CR just arrived. We're finishing this thing today. So this one came all the way from Australia, from a company called Pentec Machining. I just found this on eBay. I could not find a case saver that I was happy with. And I kept putting it off until I was like, uh-oh, it's gonna be the last thing I need. So I ordered this bad boy. Thing looks gorgeous, appears to be high quality. It's bolted up. Wow. That really is a stellar final touch.
This left just 2 more tasks to completely finish the bike. One of them being a skid plate install. I think skid plates are important even on MX bikes. It takes 1 rock to go through a case. And then I also installed an hour meter for obvious reasons. They're so nice to have to keep up with maintenance intervals and things like that.
She's now officially complete. I'm gonna go ahead and take this thing
Oficialmente
out.
terminada.
I shot all the before videos.
Oficialmente terminada.
See her in all her new glory.
Así estaba. Y así está. 250 horas de trabajo después, literal, que lo he dicho él antes. 250 horas. Aquí está. Ha quedado muy guapa, ¿eh?
Well, guys, we freaking did it. 3 months of
No me gusta la
hard work
estética.
and
Acuéstate,
dedication,
Antonio.
and we brought this $700
Hombre, a ver.
blown up CRT.
Yo hay cosas que en una moto mía la hubiera hecho diferente, pero porque, nunca mejor dicho, para gusto los colores. Yo hay muchos detallitos así en rojo y tal que para mi gusto personal, le sobra. Pero eso no quiere decir que la moto esté fea. Está guapa.
Make sure she's dialed and ready to go for whoever wins this bike. So we'll get a couple hours on it on dirt. Daniel
Ya
Schmidt,
la terminó sorteando, ¿no?
is a
A ver si ahora
top-tier
vemos otro
motocross
vídeo.
rider, so he's going to log a little bit of time on this as well.
Oh, ¿qué suena por ahí?
And that was me getting kicked off of the private property.
Fui expulsado de la propiedad privada.
I apologize to the landowner. As my brother says, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. So as I was saying, be on the lookout for a video of this bike's first time on dirt. I also plan to make a cost and parts breakdown video because I know that's really interesting to those of you doing bike builds of your own at home. And then as I do with all my builds, you can expect to see one video that documents the entire process of this build from start.
Vale, bueno, básicamente aquí ya es hablando. Dice, no me gusta la estética, no me gusta la estética. Yo lo que he dicho, yo personalmente, hay cositas que lo hubiera hecho diferente. Por ejemplo, a mí estos protectores de piñón así, no digo que sean de AliExpress, pero me recuerda mucho a AliExpress. Esos tochos de aluminio así no me gustan. No sé, hay cosas que lo hubiera, para mi gusto, hecho de otra manera. Pero es que para gusto los colores, nunca mejor dicho. Pero la moto está guapa. La moto está muy guapa. Quitando eso, quitando aquello, que si fuera mía lo hubiera, algunos detallitos hubieran sido de otra manera. Pero, como os digo, está ready. Está ready.